So first off, I've got a couple of gallons of water here. As per the instructions, you take the etch and you pour the etch in. And then mix it around until it's dissolved. This is not a mixing stick, but it's what I had handy. I also don't have a watering can that I can transfer this liquid to, so I'm going to try my best. Spread it around evenly once it's all dissolved. It doesn't take that long to dissolve. And get to spread it around. So as you can see right here, there is a bunch of grit and dirt, so the etch has done its job. I'll continue rinsing this out and see how it looks once I've squeegeed it, but you can see all the dirt here. Now we did use that degreaser from Rustoleum beforehand and it took up a lot of dirt and grease, but this is etching the concrete, I guess, and little particles of fine bits of concrete are coming up with it. So I'll continue rinsing this out and we'll move on to the other side. So once you've finished scrubbing the etch into the concrete, you want to thoroughly rinse any debris and the etch out of the garage. Once you've rinsed it all out, you want to get a good squeegee and completely get rid of any standing water. This will help dry and it will get rid of any etch that's left behind. That's both sides finished. Luckily, we had a third box with a third packet of etching in it, as I needed that to fill in pieces that I missed. So we got all the way to the front here basically with the second one, and then we needed the third one to do here, and I just did a little bit of spot treatment with the etch and then squeegeed it all out. I'm going to go over with the squeegee again, make sure it's all completely dry, or as dry as it can be, and then we'll let it dry overnight and we'll epoxy in the morning. So it's been 24 hours since we etched the floor and squeegeed it all out. So let's take a look and see how it's doing, whether it's dry enough to start applying polycuramine, not epoxy. So what we have here is the floor and it looks dry. I don't see anything around the edges. It still seems, yep, looks to be dry. Over this side, yeah, that's dry too. So we'll get to it, we'll get the components mixed together and we'll start. So we have all the tools here that you need to complete the job. You need a brush for going around the edge, you need scissors, that's just for opening up the packets. We have a roller and our pole attachment. And then we have our foam applicator that comes in the box, our chips and our 2-part polycuramine down there. So we're going to get mixing and we'll start applying. So you want to start off and mix both parts individually, get them going up a little bit. Now the instructions don't say how long to do this for, but I guess just a little bit to mix it around. A bit of a massage. Get everything out of the corners. Now you want to take side A and roll that towards part B. And there we go, both parts are now mixing together. It's a pretty neat thing actually. You're going to keep on mixing it around, make sure you get into all the corners, get everything out. And you only want to mix one of these at a time, you don't want to have two of them going. You can do one section, there's enough time to get the second one ready. Now, I am going to start off in this back corner, so I'm going to pour some of this down. I'm going to edge it up to the side, like that. Make sure a little bit more down over there, a little bit. I think I put that on a little bit too thin, so I might go back and just a little. So we're just going to go around like this. I'll put you on time lapse for the rest of it. This is very boring, and then we can see how it looks after I'm finished with that. So one bag down and I don't have enough. So this has just done a 7x16 patch of the floor. Now that's only 115 or so square feet. The box says 200, 250. Maybe I went a little bit thicker. I'm going to open up the next one. Hopefully we can get a little bit more done with this one. If not, I'll have to go Home Depot and pick up a fourth one. So hopefully we don't need to do that. Well, that's this floor completed. The overall dimension of this garage are about 525 square feet. That was 3 packets of polycuramine epoxy floor packages that we used. It takes 24 hours or so, maybe 36 hours before you can drive on this, but hopefully in the morning, maybe late afternoon tomorrow, we'll be able to see this completely dry. And in the daylight, it's getting a little bit dark, so it doesn't look that good right now. 2 things I would do differently, or I would practice. Number 1, I would have a different roller. I'd get one that has a little bit less more resistance. The one that I had, I kind of wanted to roll a little bit too much, and I more wanted to push the coating around instead of rolling it. And the second, I'd make sure that when I'm broadcasting the flakes, I'd do that better. I also dropped the bag at one point up in the top right corner. You can see here, there's just a splodge. Not too sure what happened there. I think I just fell out of my hand or something. And then I wouldn't broadcast it so close to where I'm going to roll next. Sometimes I put it too close and I was actually picking up some of the flakes in the roller, so I had to unpick them, which was a little bit time consuming. And I would also ditch the pole. This pole was $10. Get a proper pole. I couldn't apply enough force, and that's why I put the first coat on. The pole itself actually broke, so when I was putting the pressure on, it was just flexing. I think that's why that first coat went on too thick. So I actually ended up on the floor, rolling it with the little handle. So it was a lot more work than I was expecting, but I think it looks good, and we'll check on it in the morning. So it's the next day now, and the floor's had 12 hours to dry, and maybe 13 or 14 hours, and it looks great. There are a few bits where maybe I went a little bit thicker, but they'll dry today, and maybe by tomorrow night we'll be able to pull the car in.